It's time now for the Morning Rush.
And we start with Kristen Curry.
Good morning. We'll begin with our next big weather maker. Still looking at a little bit of some leftover snow over our northern mountains and areas near that northern state line. A few spot showers elsewhere, including the Albuquerque metro. We have the possibility of just a little bit more rain and snow with more of those showers on tap for southern New Mexico as we get into tomorrow afternoon. Adam?
As you get ready to head out the door this morning, we're following the day's top local stories. We'll start with Sarah Yingling. Sarah?
A woman is on the run and a man is in custody after a scary situation at Cottonwood Mall over the weekend. 32-year-old Lee Barella is in custody and is facing attempted robbery charges. Barella tried to shoplift a gold chain from a kiosk. An employee tried to stop him, but that's when they say he pulled out the pepper spray. Police say they are still searching for the female suspect, who police say pulled a gun on mall security. Police have not released a description or surveillance video of the woman. Catherine?
New Mexico lawmakers are preparing for the start of a 60-day legislative session. It begins tomorrow at noon, but many legislators have been proposing bills for the past month. One would boost fines for reckless driving. Another wouldn't require residents to get a permit to conceal carry their handgun. A Doña Ana legislator proposed a bill that would get rid of a statute of limitations on child sexual abuse lawsuits, while an Albuquerque lawmaker wants the issue of legalizing marijuana to go before voters. More on plans to handle the budget shortfall coming up in the 5 Facts.
We're expecting to hear more details from APD later today on a person whose body was found at a motel near the Big I. It happened at the Motel 6 on University and I-40. APD says officers responded to reports of shots fired Sunday morning and found the body when they arrived. No one is in custody at this time. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Just 4 days before Inauguration Day, President-elect Donald Trump is talking of an imminent replacement for Obamacare that he says will provide insurance for everybody. His declaration to the Washington Post provides no additional detail and comes after rallies across the country this weekend to save President Obama's signature health care law.
And advocates in Albuquerque took part in a rally outside UNM Hospital, upset that 266,000 New Mexicans stand to lose their health care. They told stories about the positive impact of the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, arguing this is a lifeline for New Mexicans.
One person is recovering from minor burns this morning after a weekend house fire. That happened early Sunday morning near 6th and Griegos. AFD says while crews were putting out those flames, they also encountered some downed power lines because of the fire. No word on what caused the blaze specifically or the extent of the damage.
New overnight, 37 people are now confirmed dead in a cargo plane crash in Kyrgyzstan. The Boeing 747 went down in a residential area just outside the main airport, killing people on the ground and on the plane. Officials say the plane crashed due to poor visibility. Kristen?
And the death toll continues to rise following a weekend ice storm that hit parts of the plains and Midwest. Ice-covered roads caused major problems in Nebraska and triggered fatal accidents in Missouri and Kansas. Much of North Texas was also pounded by severe weather yesterday. At least one tornado was confirmed. Brings us to our Metro Threat Index up to a 4. We're not talking severe storms, but we do have the possibility of a few spot showers later on this afternoon and evening. Not nearly as widespread as what we had over the weekend. And it is pretty cold out there now with temperatures in the 30s. Later this afternoon, we're climbing back to the upper 40s. Expect this index to drop as the days go on with more sunshine and warmer temperatures on the way. Adam?
Girl Scout cookies go on sale in New Mexico in just weeks now. When they do, you may find some new varieties that the organization's debuting to celebrate 100 years of cookie selling. One, a crispy graham cookie with cream icing and a chocolate coating. The other, a graham sandwich cookie with chocolate and marshmallow filling. Makes you hungry, doesn't it?
Sure does. A survey of about 1,400 parents found many keep their children home sick from school if they think the illness will get worse or if it may spread to classmates. Most were not likely to send a child to school with stomach issues or if they had thrown up. Doctors say if kids have a runny nose but are in good spirits, playing and eating, you may still want to send them to class.
This morning, the greatest show on earth is entering its final 4 months of performances. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus is shutting down later this year after 146 years in operation. The company's CEO called it a difficult decision, saying ticket sales were not enough to match the high cost of running the show. The last shows are scheduled for May.
All right, now let's get a look at that morning drive. Everything's looking pretty good out there since a lot of people are off on this holiday. There is a little slowdown at Paseo del Norte on I-25 that's southbound. No accidents to report though, and we'll keep you updated if anything changes.
If you don't mind the cold and wet weather in parts of the state, today is the day to get to one of New Mexico's national parks. They're offering free admission. That includes New Mexico's Bandelier National Monument, Carlsbad Caverns, and White Sands, which usually charge an entrance fee. For more information, we've posted a link on our website, krqe.com.
Here's an interesting story. A Southern California man wants to make dating great again. He's designed a dating website aimed at making romantic connections between supporters of President-elect Donald Trump. Hundreds have already signed up. Every applicant is screened by the company to make sure they're actual Trump supporters and not there to harass other members. He says current memberships include people of all ethnicities, religions, and sexual orientations.
How do they verify whether or not they're actual Trump supporters?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
many questions.
Yeah, a lot of questions on that. A shelter dog in Kentucky, we don't have to question this. He has a new job this morning as a police canine. Before learning his German commands, Oakley was an aggressive, high-stress little puppy with little chance of being adopted. But then he met Ludlow Police Lieutenant Bart Beck. With the city's blessing and a year of training, Oakley earned his first national canine certification last winter, then followed it up with tracking, apprehension, and search skills in September. He caught his first suspect, by the way, just 3 months ago.
Wow.
Good-looking dog
He
and
is a good-looking
smart,
dog.
too.
It's so interesting because they look so cute, lovey when they're so little, and then they grow up.
And they'll take you down.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing to mess
Look at
around
that.
with.
Time now for the 5 facts this morning.
We start at number 5. Celebrations take place today in New Mexico to honor the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Today in Albuquerque, Grant Chapel AME Church will celebrate the 21st commemorative breakfast for Dr. King. New Mexico's Southern Christian Leadership Conference also holds its 7th luncheon this afternoon in Rio Rancho.
Number 4, people living in Northwest Albuquerque will likely have to pick up their mail directly from the post office again this week after the second mailbox break-in in their neighborhood in a year. Cluster mailboxes were broken into on 2 streets, Bray in Alamogordo and Western Breeze in Alamogordo. One neighbor wrote a message to the crook on the side of the box saying, "Please stop breaking into our mailbox." Didn't do much good, though. U.S. Postal Inspectors have more on what you can do on our website, krqe.com.
At number 3, parts of the state are waking up to fresh snow this morning after a weekend storm passed through. Some areas even saw quarter-sized hail. The metro picked up more than half an inch of rain yesterday, breaking a 122-year-old record. We also set records in Roswell and Clayton. It brings us to number 2. We're not totally done with the rain and snow just yet. We've got some spot showers likely over the northern mountains and near the state line. Albuquerque isolated, if anything. Most of what we see will be rain, but we do get drier over the next coming days. Temperature is also getting warmer, upper 40s this afternoon, 50s by Wednesday.
Number 1, lawmakers convene at the Roundhouse for the start of this year's legislative session in just one day, tomorrow. There are a slate of issues expected to be discussed over the next 2 months. One of the biggest, the state's $69 million budget shortfall, and among the proposals from lawmakers to deal with it, a tax on online sales and a food tax. The governor says she doesn't want to raise taxes, instead calling for sweeping funds from idle public accounts and shrinking overall pay to state employees and teachers. Full coverage of this year's legislative session as it unfolds on our website, krqe.com, of course, right here on KRQE this morning as well.